Oh, let it blow. It's Ekse Live, let it go. Today we're celebrating women in science and tech. Megan Jackson is a student in the Van der Heyden lab at Stellenbosch University, where she is using cutting-edge molecular techniques and bioinformatics to study population genetics in endangered Cape Dwarf. Christy Moran is a marine biology honors graduate, now a full-time teacher at Grooteskier High School. While studying, her research was focused on marine litter around South Africa, including sea animals ingesting plastic litter in Cape Town. This was published in the Environmental Population Journal. Amalia de Abreu is a marine scientist from Cape Town. She completed her honors in marine biology at the University of Cape Town. She is passionate about ocean conservation and increasing ocean access to everyone. Afropop singer, songwriter, and performing artist Sophia released a new single titled Impumelelo. Sophia's powerful vocal style is a blend of old-school pop and jazz influences like Miriam Makeba, Brenda Fassie, and Motown sounds with contemporary Afro-pop. In 2014, Sophia was signed to Sony Music Africa, where she best showcased her soulful sound on her debut single, Love in Soweto. She is our Ekse Live exclusive this afternoon. Blue Water is a South African water company that believes in ensuring that everyone has access to clean, pure water. Blue Water is privately owned bottled water company in Cape Town by a 25-year-old female, Simamkele Ngaba. The business provides the service of providing bottled water to schools, events, businesses, office spaces, government offices, restaurants, and residents. We celebrate her this afternoon. Buitumelo Simelani is on Style Time today. Buitumelo worked as a mentor and head of department in styling and dressing and was later chosen to be one of the 20 student entrepreneurs to work in a newly found West South Africa store in 2019 under the very same company. Growing up, Buitumelo was always groomed around clothes coming from both parents. Both parents were born and met in Lesotho before coming to South Africa and were both into fashion. Category is the Iron Son of men apparel. Lauren chats to Dean, who utilizes the latest advances in nanotechnology developed in the NAMI to create a highly protective and incredibly thin mask. The nanofibers in our mask are extremely thin, around 200 to 200 thinner than a human hair. Combined with a unique formula, the mask can kill bacteria on contact while remaining odorless and highly breathable. This is how we can prevent COVID-19 from transferring from person to person. Welcome to Ekse Live.
CTV family. Catch us live on your TV screens. CPT, where we be. 4 p.m. till 5 every week. Ekse, 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 Ekse Live. CTV family. Catch us live on your TV screens. CPT, where we be. 4 p.m. till 5 every week. Ekse, 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 it's Ekse Live.
As you've just seen, we've got so much happening on the show today. We're super excited. But if you've just tuned in, you're gonna have to just wait for the surprise of all of the amazing things that we have on the show today. My name is Lauren Jaffe, and this is the one and only Ekse. But very soon we're gonna be linking to trending news. We know in Mzansi there's so much going on all of the time. Some good things, some bad things, and some things in between. So make sure that you stay tuned for trending news. And of course, we are with you from the hours of 4 all the way to 5 o'clock. But next up is trending news. Don't go anywhere. Snacks aren't worth it. Bathroom breaks aren't worth it. Just stay on the couch.
Well, now on some trending news, Lasizo responds about the 2 million that he apparently chowed. Well, usually I'll be upset about the backlash and worry about people saying, but this time around, I thought let them be. They don't know what they're talking about. Uchilogo Lasizo on Twitter. Then he clarified that companies had to get the tax clearances, making the process a payment very lengthy. Some companies that pledged to the initiative had to get tax clearances, and it's been a long process. Ufundi has its own protocols it needs to adhere to, adding that Fundi is one that needs to address the matter on Twitter.
Fans have been beaming with excitement ever since Mama Kakaira, also known as DJ Zintle, announced that she is about to become a mother of two. Award-winning DJ and entrepreneur Zintle Giane dropped a bombshell when she's not only announced her new reality show, but she also revealed her pregnancy. DJ Zintle is in a loving relationship with Black Motion's Muda Bongs, who is smitten and head over heels in love with DJ Zintle. She is already a mother to Cara Forbes, baby made with AKA, and we wonder how she took the news about being a big sister.
While on the other side, last but not least, the biggest podcast in the country is coming and, of course, moving to Channel O. That is, of course, Podcast and Chill with Mac G. Chillers will now be saving up with Data Yabo as they have another platform where they can watch their favorite podcast, Podcast and Chill with Mac G. Mzansi's favorite podcast will now be moving to Channel O. Just another win for Mac G and, of course, his team. Fans are very excited. But however, the podcast has gained popularity for being very controversial as they are raw and unfiltered. Now they are moving to television. People are wondering that they will be banned from actually speaking and, of course, talking about topics that are very sensitive. But worry not, chillers, this will only be moving to Channel O and, of course, only including, and, of course, celebrity interviews every Wednesdays at 9:30 starting from next month.
Beautiful Wednesday, and of course it's still Women's Month, so I'm in studio at the moment with beautiful, knowledgeable, qualified women. Welcome to the studio, guys. So we have Kersha, Kirsty, Amalia, and Megan. Hopefully I messed up nobody's names, but I'll find out later. How are you guys doing?
Good.
You're good? Feeling a bit nervous, a bit excited?
Good. A little bit nervous.
A little bit nervous, that's cool. It's all part of the journey. So we're talking women in tech and in science. Now I know specifically you guys are all from a sort of marine biology focused background. Can we run through from Kersha all the way through to Megan? What is your personal background? How did you get into what you're into now?
All right. Hi, I'm a marine science educator, qualified marine biologist. And I got into the field because I've been passionate about the ocean, seen a lot of it and been around marine animals and said this is what I want to do. And got into education after studying marine biology, and now I'm an educator at the Two Oceans Aquarium, where I teach individuals that enter the aquarium from grade 1 to 12, and as well as adults that enter. So we have various courses that we offer online and so on. So that's my field, and I'm still loving it.
And representing, I see you there.
Representing, yeah,
Branded.
of course. So awesome stuff.
So Kirsty, what's your background?
All right, so mine is relatively similar to Kersha's, but not quite. So I myself got very, very inspired by the ocean and marine biology when I actually went to the Two Oceans Aquarium as a young teenager. And I just thought that what Kersha and them were actually teaching was very, very, very fascinating. So I went straight into marine science, studied marine science, was working with these two lovely young women next to me as well on some various projects, specifically in looking at plastic litter research. And now I'm also actually representing over here. I'm also now a marine science educator at a local high school here in Cape Town. And we are also aiming with the aquarium to bring marine science to our learners at our school.
So you guys are proud of where you're coming from, hey?
Yes.
All that branding.
Yes.
So Amalia, what's your background?
Cool. So I started out, I did the young biologist course at the aquarium as well. This is
Awesome.
marine space in Cape Town is very small, as you might have noticed already, because
Everything
we
coming full
studied together.
circle.
So I studied marine biology at UCT and did my honors with Megan and Christy. And I'm now working at I'm Water Ocean Conservation. So we're an NGO and we teach underprivileged coastal communities about the importance of the ocean. We do transformative ocean workshops where we teach kids how to snorkel, teach them about the creatures in the rocky shore, do beach cleanups. So yeah, that's where I'm at now, and yeah, loving it, love the ocean, and it's great to be here with all these beautiful women, yeah.
That's awesome. I'm pumped to be here with knowledgeable, beautiful women as well. Megan, last but not least, what's your personal journey?
So I'm still in academia. I'm doing my master's at Stellenbosch. I started at UCT studying honours with them, and I was actually in terrestrial. I worked on caracals, population genetics, and I'm also working in population genetics, but in seagrass at Stellenbosch.
It's so interesting. I mean, you guys have really gone through the academic hoops and hurdles, and you can tell how passionate and how excited you all are. Now, I know today's specific topic, you know, we don't have loads of time, but I want to know, in this field where, you know, when it comes to science and tech, it tends to be so male dominated, and obviously there's always powerhouse women that are representing, and they're like, no, women belong in this space as well. What has that been like for you? Have you had any personal incidents, any specific feelings around being a woman in this field?
Okay, so for me, mainly, if just speaking to my experience, would be a lot of science requires field work. It's a lot of like physical activity, and I was studying fish, so lots of, it sounds strange, but like fishing with nets, so a lot of hard labor. I'm also a scuba diver, a commercial diver, so is kosher. So yeah, men don't think we can lift, we can lift.
They just assume that you can't do it. So you'll get there, you want to go out into or do your job, take your equipment, and they'll just be like, oh no, just leave it, I can do that for you. But they already have like 50 things on their back. Like, no, chill, like I can do this. Like, just give it to me. Yeah, that's definitely something.
I'm just thinking about how often I'm just like, oh, if you want to assume I'm not strong, that's fine. You can do the hard work. It's okay. I'll just stand here pretending like I can't lift the box. So in terms of have you had any battles in terms of the academia and the science part of it? So you spoke about the field work. Has there been any, you know, interesting experiences, whether it be anything from sexism or just assumptions of people sort of judging or assuming what you're capable of in terms of your academics?
Yeah, definitely. I think we were chatting a little bit about it before we actually came on like today. But I mean, Amalia was also mentioning a really good point, is that currently in biological sciences specifically, when we're looking at biology, can't really speak for the physics and the maths, but we're actually seeing a lot more women coming in from the younger generation, and coming in there. But the higher up you go, you'll notice that most of them are male at the higher end. And I don't know if that's also because of history and that they've allowed us to get there. But there could also be other issues, like maybe the women aren't there. Like, I mean, we've kind of exited and gone into education. So maybe there's a reason that the women aren't actually pushing through to get masters, get PhDs, yes. And maybe that's just because, you know, they're struggling to get through all those other hoops of sexism. I don't know if you have experience on that side there.
So I'm very lucky in that I've only ever had female supervisors, and it's been really inspiring for me to see women doing so well in that field, and especially also coming from a genetics background, there are also a lot of females in that field as well. So in population genetics, there are a lot of females, and I've been really lucky, and it's been very inspiring to see those women pushing ahead. But they all work very hard, and they're all incredible women.
Yeah.
But even so, like, I have spoken to men like that I've studied with, and they do have this perception sometimes that women just aren't as capable as them, and that's complete nonsense, because we are.
I can just see all of us sort of rolling our eyes, going like, yeah, that sounds about right. I think, you know, you're talking about women that have inspired you in your journeys, and I'm sure there's viewers at the moment who are watching you who are feeling inspired. What would you say to, you know, any young woman or any young adult that's watching right now that's interested in science or tech or even specifically marine biology? Is there any sort of network they should reach out to, any social media, any websites?
There's so much. That's actually the problem, is we don't actually have time to sit down now and tell you what all you can actually look at. So many opportunities, but I think the number one thing is get yourself out there. Right? Just start going, see where you can like do some volunteer work, or you can job shadow anybody that you're keen to. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd also like to say as well that although we all studied in tertiary institutions and we pursued science through academia, like there is space, there's beautiful projects that are working with citizen science, so you really don't have to study for 10 years to be a scientist.
Yeah.
If you have a question and you work to figuring out the answer to that question, you're basically a scientist. So yeah, networking is key, volunteering, working super duper hard, and yeah, I definitely recommend the young biologist course at the aquarium.
Yeah, just to add on to that, being a woman in this field, it is difficult, and
I have to interrupt you, unfortunately, but thank you so much. I hope you guys learned loads at home, and reach out to them on social media. Slide into their DMs.
CTV family.